Yo, you know what it is. You know what to do. You know who it is. You already know the rest. Okay, I'm not gonna steal my man, Mr. Maneuver's thunder.
Yep,
that's his thing.
This
is the 22-2 podcast. You already know who's in the building. I got my man D. Steven, aka DB Dude, aka Darnell, aka the coldest street defensive back you ever seen in your whole entire life.
NFL Street.
NFL
I got two
life, baby. I got two. Listen, baby, I got two smooth. I got the moderator, the king moderator. Man should be on ESPN. You heard?
You know,
he's the guy that keeps us calibrated and in line and know what we need to talk about. And you got one and only, baby.
Respect.
You got Clark Kent, aka Schoen, in the building. So
yes,
we're here to talk about Hard Knocks. With the New York Giants, the offseason
New York
Hard Knocks.
football Giants.
New York.
And unfortunately, fellas, the first episode dropped. Fortunately, the first episode dropped, and unfortunately, we are forced to relive this whole Saquon Barkley thing again. Like we did this in the group chat. We did this on the pod, and now we're watching it. Not in real time, but in past time, because obviously it already happened. But we're just watching all the conversations behind the scenes that led to Saquon's departure and joining of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I gotta say myself, bro, like, it was really disappointing to just see how that played out and why it played out the way it
hurt your
did.
heart, man. It hurt your heart.
It was really interesting just from an analysis perspective to see how they view running backs and just all skill positions, honestly.
Real quick though, you know what it is? It after Saquon left, it's really like Giants fans are looking at it to say, what the fuck? What were they thinking when he left? What did they say when he left? What led to them making the decision to what he left? It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
watch.
Listen, you see the Excel spreadsheet up on there. You see all the different valuations of running backs, and like this one could, he's a left to right runner, and this one goes north and south, and this one can make you miss a first tackle and then hit the hole. And they got their age up there and their weight and the carries and how many hits and injury history. It's crazy to see. But all in all, Saquon left. It was also really interesting to see them, kind of just shooting the breeze because they're all boys. All the GMs talking about, two first for Burns, and it's just like, wait a minute, is it? Did I just hear a trade proposal just super casually just on the sideline? Whenever like Shefty or like Woj and Shams in basketball tweet out that a trade is imminent or something has been proposed. You think of them being in the office and kind of picking up the phone very formally and being like, hey, let's have a conversation. But this was really just chill on the sideline. I was just taken aback.
All wide open.
What's so crazy? What's so crazy about it? It's like Adam Schefter likely has some dude dressed up like Inspector Gadget on the sideline with shades on and a hat and the trench coat listening to these kind of conversations, right? Because it's like, yo, when you hear them
with a scouting badge on.
Yeah, and listen, when you hear them speak, it's like Dan Morgan, who's the GM for the Carolina Panthers. They're just having a shoot the shit conversation with Joe Schoen, and then you got Brandon Beane from the Buffalo Bills, and then they're having a conversation with each other. And Joe Schoen is just like, oh, you guys are in the market for a top 10 pick. Is that too rich for Brandon Beane? And then out of nowhere, Dan Morgan is like, so you interested in Brian Burns? I'll take 2 first-round picks. And then they freeze frame, and it's like, yo, bro, it's not even casual. Like, you're actually shopping this player, and you want to move him.
Yeah.
And this is you're stating your price.
Throwing it out.
The antennas go off. Like, wait a minute. Did you just say who I think you said? Like, is that person and you wouldn't say that if the player is not available.
No.
So like the antennas immediately go up. Now you're calling GM, you're calling assistant GM, you're trying to figure out all these different packages. Like, yo, go look at the numbers, tell me what we got to do. Contract for contract, dollar for dollar. Like, what do we got to do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting to see that.
Shout out to Joe Schoen because my man Dan Morgan, who shout out to him, University of Miami. He was nasty back in the days before Luke Kuechly, right? He turned around and he said, I want 2 first-round picks. And Shane was like, I hear you, my G. but I'm going to give you this second and this fifth, and you're going to take it, and I'm going to steal your best pass rusher. And he shook his hand. He was like this, deal.
Yeah.
Fleeced him, bro.
He's like, I don't know about 2 first, but I like where this conversation's going. They're like,
I give you a second.
They're like, hey, and I'm trying to see what you got going on. Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing too, Darnell, because it's like we always, as fans, we're always going to read the tweets and like look at the trade on the ticker and see who got fleeced, right? Yeah. But just watching them in that war room kind of just determine what players they're going to need specifically for their schemes on defense, specifically for their schemes on offense. There is a semblance of them trying to make a good deal that goes well for both teams. And I kind of get that aspect because like a lot of these dudes, as we were just talking about, these dudes are boys. Like they came up together. They probably was on the same scouting team at one point. Like they're probably defensive coordinator somewhere, you know, some way, shape, or form. They came. And
Joe Schoen was together. Joe Schoen was on the Panthers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He was a video scout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he has the relationship with the Buffalo Bills, and you know he was the junior.
He would say like everybody off the Bills roster. It seems like.
Yeah.
Except Josh Allen, which would be nice.
So untouchable, right? But yeah, these teams like they have the same, very similar valuations of each other. They know what direction each team is heading, right? Like you're not about to sit here and tell me you're a playoff contender and I know you're trying to tank. So let's make a deal.
Yeah, let's be honest.
That's gonna be good for our purpose, and that's gonna be good for your purpose.
Let's cut the BS and let's get to the business.
Yeah.
But you know what I want to discuss is the elephant in the room, right? The Saquon Barkley conversation.
Yeah.
Between the player, the director of player personnel with the Giants, when he made the comments that he did in terms of the Saquon Barkley effect on our offense, and the conversation with John Mara.
Yeah.
You know, where John Mara turned around and he was like, well, first of all, let's go back to director of player personnel, where he said, well, what are we gonna do if we don't retain 60% of our offense? If it's run on one side of the ball, and then you have John Mara say, well, so we're not going to sign Saquon, so we're going to go and grab a running back in the first 2 rounds, right? Yeah. It's like, no, this is the exact reason why we're in the position we're in right now. And then you're talking to the director of player personnel, and it's like, okay, I understand the angle of Joe Schoen. I don't want to take the direction of continuing what has not worked.
Right.
Saquon Barkley over the last 6 years has been our offense, granted.
Right.
But where has that led us?
Yeah.
The bottom third of the NFL in terms of offensive production.
Record, you name it, just everything.
So, you know, going in a different direction is totally understood in terms of where the team is going to go, and I can hear maneuvers already.
Yeah,
you don't pay Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
but in a market where the quarterback matters, you know, it's the meta like we talked about before, right? You play you pay the quarterback before you pay any other position in the NFL. I mean, we all don't agree with it, but that's what you should do. Yeah. So, you know, with giving Daniel Jones the opportunity at the quarterback position, now they're looking at the fact that they need to be able to bolster all the other players around him. Yeah, offensive line, wide receivers, give him the weapons so that you can see whether or not he can perform. And if that doesn't happen, then you know that you can move on. Joe Schoen said it himself. He said we have to see what we have in him. We've invested this money, we've put this forward, and we need to see what we can do with adding pieces on our offensive line. We got John Runyon Jr., we got Illuminor, we got a couple of pieces, and we still have John Michael Schmitz in the middle. Yeah, we have
back second year be good.
Second year he should be better.
Be a lot better.
Assuming he should be better. We're in the third year of Neal. We'll see if he's going to get better at the right tackle. Yeah, and then we have Malik Neighbors on the outside, who they're already singing his praises in practice, how he's wilding on everybody now. So I mean, that is kind of the cornerstone and the foundation. You know, you want to be able to build a team around Daniel Jones and see what he has, because you've already invested that money. So why would you go in another direction? So I understand, put a ball on it. I understand where ownership is going with their, with John Mara with his comments and saying, we need a star player, we need somebody to be able to help push the offense forward.
Keep that facilitated.
Yeah, keep things facilitated, keep things moving forward, but at the same time, move away from what has not been successful. But in the same breath and conversation, you can use stats to build whatever argument that you want.
It's tough, man, because it's like it's the epitome of ripping the Band-Aid off. You know what I'm saying? And I think we have, as a Giants team, as a collective, as a fan base, you know what I mean? We've had, the Giants have collectively had,
These are Giant fans right now.
Five or six.
I said those are Giant fans right now. You missed it. You probably wasn't looking.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
I ain't doing that again.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. So we had drinking. My bad. Yeah. So
living the drink, bro.
So it's like, collectively we've had like 5, maybe 6 iconic players, in modern history. You know what I mean? Talking about the LTs, the Strahans, Shockey, Victor Cruz, Eli. You know what I mean? Those are iconic players. Maybe I would say Tiki to an extent, but not really, because he was real disrespectful on the way.
You have to.
Yeah. To an extent. I said to an extent.
He's one of the best running back, if not the best running back in Giants history.
I said to an extent, man.
On the field.
Yeah, on the field. Off the field, he's a clown. So what I'm saying is, like, Saquon was our guy, you know what I mean? And I think that's something that we were going to hold on to, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you could rip the Band-Aid off. Doesn't mean it's not going to hurt.
It wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't with a rival.
Yes,
but that was going to be my question to Donnell is, like, how do you delineate between, like, the cloth, like the heart and soul of the team
right.
versus, like, moving on? Because, like, dude, you go to Giants Stadium, you go to MetLife Stadium, it's all Saquon Barkley jerseys.
So,
who's that next guy? Who are the fan base gonna cling to now?
But what's so weird? I mean, the fan base, I think Tibbs, Dex, and I do believe Neighbors is gonna be a household name. I think the funny thing is, and this is something I brought up before when we spoke in the past, Joe Schoen came from this system where they don't believe in getting Josh Allen any help. Like it's like he has been. Who's his running back?
You mean from the standpoint of the backfield, or do you
running back?
Yeah,
they've never,
because Josh Allen had a ton of help.
Is running back? Who?
But that's what I'm saying to you. You're talking about.
I'm talking about
from a running back.
Running back perspective.
No, that's not the type of offense that they run.
Well, as I'm saying, no running back. So they are.
But they do have James. Well, they do have James Cook.
But what I'm saying is, he just caught this year. He wasn't like that before. This year, he actually showed up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm wondering, are they going with this model with Daniel Jones? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited to see what this Hard Knocks is going to reveal, because I'll be honest, as Giants fans, we're going to get really mad watching a lot of this stuff happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're going to look at it and be like, whoa, wait, I wouldn't have done that. Why did you do that?
Well, the thing is to remember about being a GM, you have to look at productivity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, I mean, yes, you have to also, look at X factors like, team morale. Is he a team guy? How does he interact with his teammates, and what does he bring to the table that's an intangible? Yeah. But at the same time, intangibles aren't moving the needle when it comes to stepping out on that football field
and winning. Agreed.
And winning football games and contributing to winning football games.
It's a small sample size with sports, bro. You win. That's it.
Yeah.
No other.
There's no other outcome.
There's no other outcome, bro. It's like you win.
I mean,
that's it.
Let's keep it a bean. Saquon Barkley got a raw deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he did not have the offensive line that we would have hoped for. Right. He didn't have the surrounding players to be able to say that he got the support that he needed in order to show to show something fruitful from his productivity. It just wasn't there.
Right.
So, I mean, an argument can be, again, statistics can be argued in either direction to serve any agenda.
Right.
But when it comes to Saquon Barkley and what he meant to this team, the impact was there.
Yeah.
You hear it in the comments from Kayvon Thibodeau. You hear it in the comments from Dexter Lawrence. You hear from the team leaders that they're saying that there's a huge void that needs to be filled.
Yeah.
However, we drafted a guy in Tyrone Tracy who's going to be a Swiss Army knife for the Giants because he was with Purdue. He was a wide receiver and he's turned running back and he has versatility there.
Yeah.
You have Malik Neighbors. You have guys that by committee.
Yeah.
And by far and wide with Malik Neighbors, he's going to be a stud. So I think that the Giants will be okay in that regard, but the defense will be much improved.
Yeah.
Behind Shane Bowen coming from the Titans as the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's gonna be relying heavily on that front four. And then you also have to remember that there's an X factor in Azeez Ojulari coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And being a guy that could be a third rusher behind Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. A lot of people remember that he's in a contract year this year.
Yeah.
So, you got Bobby Okereke.
Yeah.
You have pieces on the defensive side of the football. Yeah. So I think that the Giants will be better. But to kind of bring it back to the Hard Knocks, I like the behind the scenes with the conversations, the candid conversations with the GMs,
more honest,
and with player personnel, the team meetings with Brandon, with all of those guys, and it kind of brought everything together to say, okay, this is why they did what they did. We may not love it, but this is the rationale behind the decisions that were made in the front office, and it gives us a better understanding of what happened.
Yep. Sure. So we'll definitely see, fellas, next week another episode. And as we always say, there's gonna be numbers and thought processes that'll get you to wherever your vision is. So let's see if we can get some more explanations from these guys, and let's have a glimmer of hope for next season. Just a little bit,
a little twinkle,
a little something, baby,
a little twinkle,
a little bit. Everybody, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We do this every week. The Twitter, the TikTok, the Instagram, everything. Hit us up. Let us know what y'all think. Peace.